In this video, we're going to be taking a look at kind of a fun little project, something you see quite often in Rhinestone designs, and we're going to show you how to create it here in CorelDRAW, and we're going to show you a couple of new features here in the beta release 3 for EasyStone. Now, this particular beta release has not yet been released, but will be on Friday. So every Friday we're going to release a new beta release with any bug fixes, any new features. So every Friday be on the lookout for a new beta release for you to test out over the weekend. And definitely any feedback you can give us on problems that you come across so we can get those things fixed before the official release. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this project that we're going to be working with. I'm going to import a graphic, and this graphic, as well as the font that we're going to be using in this demonstration, I've provided a link in the video description here where you can go to the website, download this piece of clip art, download the TrueType font that we're going to be using in this demonstration so you can follow right along. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a baseball mom banner. And the real advantage to understanding how to use CorelDRAW to create this banner for us is depending on the text that we want to put into a banner, we'll have the tools to create this banner, make it thicker, we can make it wider, we can modify this however we need to best fit the text that we're going to stick into it. So there are very, very few video demonstrations step by step that will show you an entire project from start to finish. And I know when I was starting with Rhinestone Designs about a year and a half ago, I was very frustrated because there's really not much information out there. So that's really what our goal here is, to give you that information so you can create what you want to create and do it in a very productive way. Now, when we look at artwork, anytime we look at artwork, we have to assess what is the best option. Well, we know that when we're working with rhinestones that we need some type of vector artwork to apply the rhinestones to. So we can't utilize this bitmap as it is. So we have to convert it to a vector using some type of vector conversion software or the vector conversion options within our Rhinestone program. In this case, CorelDRAW does have a trace bitmap function that would convert a bitmap to a vector object for us. The challenge is depending on the artwork, is will it do a good enough conversion to get the result we want? And of course, the other thing to consider too is depending on what the artwork is, it might be just as easy to recreate the artwork using the tools here in CorelDRAW in conjunction with EasyStone. It might be just better to recreate the artwork than to fiddle with converting the artwork via a vector conversion. Now in this case, if we look at the vector artwork, you can see it's not great quality. The line thickness is not consistent. There's gaps in the artwork as well. So this isn't going to do a great job converting to a vector artwork anyhow. Plus we have all this detail in the shadowing of the banner that we don't need for our rhinestone design. So this particular piece of artwork is actually very simple and very easy to recreate using the tools in CorelDRAW. And that's really the whole purpose of the project anyhow, is to show you how to use these tools and how you can recreate artwork very quickly with only minimal CorelDRAW skills. So let's go ahead and get going here. So first of all, when you look at this banner, it's symmetrical. And what that means is it's exactly the same on the right as it is the left. And that's good news for us because now we only have to create half of the design. So what we're going to do is grab our shape tool right here. Now this is a custom toolbar. So if you open up CorelDRAW and you don't see this, that's why. This is a custom toolbar. If you go to the website, go into the freebie section, and there is a CorelDRAW workspace that you can download for CorelDRAW X5 and CorelDRAW X6. There's a video tutorial that shows you how to download it and install it. But once you install it, your workspace is going to look exactly like ours here in the video demonstration. So you'll be able to follow right along. So we're going to grab our shape tool, select these two nodes over here on the right, and just drag right on over. And we're just going to, so now we're just kind of trimmed the right hand side. Now we just have half a banner here. The next thing I'd like to do is go over to our Specialty tab and lock our image. And that's going to lock the image, so now we can't click on it. And it's also going to lower the opacity a little bit for us. Now the next thing we want to do is set the outline thickness. So we'll go to our Outline Pen dialog box, choose 3-point outline. And we'll begin by using our 3-point curve tool. So all we need to do is just kind of follow along the existing artwork. So we're going to click and drag and pull. See how easy that is? I'm going to zoom in a little bit tighter here. Click and drag and pull. Once you use this tool a little bit, you'll get the hang of it, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and you'll be able to recreate this artwork. Just a few clicks of the mouse. You can see we're not doing anything that's complicated whatsoever. Just following along the existing artwork. And that's all there is to it. So then we'll go ahead and connect this to this. We'll go ahead and connect this to this. We'll come over here. And we're just using the existing artwork as a guide anyhow, so it doesn't have to be super precise. Let's see, we're going to come over here. Snap to that point, create that path, and we have one more here. Now you see that little bump there? We're going to switch over to our shape tool, and I'm just going to click on that and double click on the node and see how that kind of smooths it out. Pretty easy. We wouldn't have to do that, but I just did it for the heck of it. So you can see how quickly we're able to create that banner. It really didn't take any time at all. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab all those pieces. We're going to click and drag and right click to make a duplicate. And what I like to do is I like to work in stages. So you'll see that a lot. So that's stage 1. We'll come down. This will be stage 2. We're going to flip this. And you can see if I just click and drag with the control handle, there's no real way to make the right half exactly the same as the left half just by clicking and dragging. But if we use the control key, see what it does? Snaps it. So now it's exactly symmetrical. And if we right click, that will make a duplicate. And now we have a complete banner. So let's go ahead. That's stage 2. Let's move on to stage 3. Right now, the right half is separate from the left half. And with this line across the bottom, I need that to be one single path. So we're going to select that, hold our Shift key, select the other half, come to the Editing tab, and choose Join Paths. Now that's one continuous line. You can see that there. It's one line. And that's what we need for the next step. So the next step here is to go ahead and grab our text tool, and I'm just going to type out the word baseball mom, and we're going to use our font. So right here we have EST baseball mom, and you can see that converts to our Rhinestone font. And now the next thing to do here is we have a tool over here on the Fonts tab called Text to Path. And what we're going to do is select our text, hold the Shift key, and select the path that we want to apply the text to, and then click Text to Path. And it just applies that automatically to that path. Now, when we select our text, you can't see it very well. Let me just move this text up a little bit. But when we select the text, see that little control, that little red diamond there? That is your control handle. And if we click on that little diamond and move it to the right, see that little red line that appears, that little vertical red line? What that is telling us is now Baseball Mom is centered perfectly left to right. That's what that indicates. But obviously Baseball Mom is too small for this banner, so let's modify it. Just double click on it so that the whole thing is highlighted, and then let's change the size of this to say, I don't know, 34 or so. And that looks pretty good. So let's switch back to the pick tool. You get the diamond control again. So we're going to click and drag. And now Baseball Mom is centered in the banner once again. Okay? So now that we're happy with that, this is the next step. what we need to do is right now these circles for baseball mom, we don't even know what they are. But those have to be a specific value when we go to cut our template. So what we need to do, if we select the entire banner right now, you can see it's only 4 inches wide. But again, we don't know how big these circles are. So we need to determine what those circles are. So what we're going to do here is use this break apart rhinestone text. So with the rhinestone text selected, click on break apart rhinestone text. And what that's going to do is take each one of these circles, and now they're an individual stone. Okay? What we're going to do is come to the specialty tab. We're going to select a stone, right click, and it tells us that it's currently 1.2952 millimeters. So right now it's too small. So now that we've defined that, what do we want them to be? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select all stages, and we want that stone to be 2.6. But we're not only going to change the font, we're going to change the banner right along with it. So select all 3 stages, scale design, and now when we click on one of these circles, you can see it's really, really close to 2.6 millimeter. So now what we'll do is we'll actually select all those circles, come to the stone tab and hit resize replace, and now all those circles will in fact be not only perfect circles, but they are exactly 2.6 millimeter, which is exactly what we wanted. Alright, so because now our circles for baseball mom are the proper size, if I select my entire banner, notice that now the width of my banner is 8.4 inches. So for the banner, I actually want to use SS10 stones. So we'll switch our stone size. And remember, we don't have to recreate the whole banner. We only have to do half of it. So we're going to select this half, and that's why we save it in stages. So I'm actually going to pull over another stage and click Add Stones. Okay? And if I don't like that color, I'm actually going to change the color. So I think it'll be easier to see in the demonstration. So we'll hit Capri Blue and click Add Stones again. There we go. That's better. Alright, so now we just need to make a couple of minor edits and our banner will be pretty much done. So what we're going to do is select the entire design, delete the stone paths. We don't need those anymore. And we have to deal with the overlaps though. So we're going to delete that one. And that's usually where I start. I start with determining what stones I need, what stones I don't need. Any stones that are touching, we have to deal with those. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I'll delete that one. There's one there. That looks good. There's one here. Get rid of that one. There's one overlapping there, one overlapping there. That one's really close. Okay, so now we kind of have the beginning stages done. Now we'll kind of look at things in more detail. So I think what I'll do is I'll delete that stone, and I'll move this stone in. And let's see here. And you know, you're the designer, so you get to decide, you know, obviously what you want the final product to look like. I'm generally pretty picky, so I'll take the time and get it just so. So I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. And what are we going to do here? Well, in this situation, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to move that in a little bit. I'm going to move this up. And we're going to use a little tool here. So we're going to go ahead and tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to just shuffle these stones around a little bit. So let me show you a tool that we're going to use to do it. You can see what we're doing here. We just drew a little path, and then we're going to come to the editing tab and choose respace. And actually, this path is not connected. So let's go back to the editing tab and join paths, and then we can hit respace. And I've just kind of shuffled those stones around a little bit, and I think that just makes for a little bit better result there. And then here we can Just nudge that stone out a little bit. And then we have to connect these. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe what we'll do, let's try that. Something like that. Whatever you want to be. You just step back and look at it. And what I want here is this is too rounded for me. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to pull this stone out a little bit more here. We need to fit room for another stone. There we go. And I'll see what that looks like if I prefer that. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. I think what we'll do is we'll move that stone in. See what we think of that. So yeah, I like that better. So whatever you want your banner to be, you know, you can make it however you want to. But I think that looks pretty good. So now what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and flip this banner, just like we did previously. Hold down the control key, right click to make a duplicate, and then we're just going to move it over one stone, center to center, and then we're going to select the whole banner. Come over here to miscellaneous and check spacing. There's 2 overlapping stones is all. And that's it. So now we're going to take this baseball mom. Let's go ahead and change the stone to crystal. And then we'll take the design here, make a duplicate, group it together, take the banner, group it together, select them both, and just hit C and E. And then we're just going to position this right where we need it. And there you have your finished design for Baseball Mom banner. So what we're going to do is select the whole thing, come to the miscellaneous tab, choose add weed box, and there is the finished product. Now, because we used SS10 stones for the banner and we used SS6 stones for Baseball Mom, we can actually cut this out of one single template, brush in all your SS10 stones first, and then follow it up with all of your SS6 stones for Baseball Mom. So you can get 2 colors on a single template because you use 2 different size stones. So I hope you enjoyed the process, learned a little something along the way, and the next time you need to make a banner, you won't be scared about it. You'll have the tools to modify that banner and make it whatever you need to make it for the text that you're going to place inside that banner. Thanks for watching.